On this episode of the Press Rewind Prince Lyrics Podcast, I talk about Prince's Mother's Day gift to all the proud mamas out there, Make Your Mama Happy, from the 1998 Crystal Ball Collection. Make Your Mama Happy was recorded in early August 1986 at Prince's Galpin Boulevard home studio in Chanhassen, Minnesota. It's a mostly solo Prince recording with background vocals credited on Prince Vault to Susanna Melvoin, and saxophone credited to Eric Leeds. In the Crystal Ball release liner notes, so if you have that collection, it comes in like this cylinder filled with discs and a little book. The liner notes for this song, Prince says about it, "This was recorded after listening to Fresh by Sly and to prove a point to Susanna." So part of that statement is pretty straightforward. The song was clearly inspired by Sly and the Family Stone, and specifically their album Fresh, which came out in the early to mid-70s, I think. So listen to the song with that context and knowledge in your mind as you listen to Make Your Mama Happy. But also, there's part of that statement that's quite cryptic, and the part that's cryptic was where he says he's trying to prove to his girlfriend at the time, Susanna Melvoin. But what? What was he trying to prove? What point was he trying to prove? And that's not what I'm not entirely sure. And he doesn't elaborate, of course, in the liner notes what point he was trying to prove to Susanna by writing and recording the song in the summer of 1986. Maybe that, Prince could write an aspirational jam, and maybe he had a song for mothers out there. I don't really know what point he was trying to prove. Maybe it was about the sound, not so much the sentiment or the lyrics. Susanna, if you're listening, do you know what he was talking about? All right, so the song starts with Prince singing basically, part of the chorus. Never say die, never say why. He goes then into the chorus itself. Make your mama happy. Make somebody proud. Never say die, never say why. Stand up and touch the clouds. So now you get a sense for the song and what it's about. It's about self-empowerment, self-affirmation. He's talking about doing something special with your life, doing something you weren't expected to do, or maybe something that goes above and beyond, maybe even what you thought you were capable of. Or it could simply mean to strive to achieve a specific goal that not only gives yourself pride, but by accomplishing said goal, you've made your mama happy and proud. Reach for the sky, stand up and touch the clouds. So go for it. It's like the little poster of the cat hanging from the ledge. Trite, hang in there poster, hang in there kitty. And there's certainly some aspirational poster mantra, write it on your whiteboard in your in your dorm room or in your bedroom, post it on your locker. Go for it. Reach the clouds. Reach for the sky. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Dreams can come true. So on and so forth. So a lot of this chorus seems pretty straightforward in terms of what it's trying to say, and maybe the type of song Prince was trying to write here. And then we get into the first verse. Billy got a test in geometry. He didn't study the night before. He wants a steady job and a salary, so I guess he got to study some more. So we now know that this is going to be a story song. Prince using named characters to tell the story or to help convey the message In this case, in verse 1, he's talking about Billy. And Billy didn't prepare adequately. No studying for his test. But, his geometry test specifically. But he still has big dreams. And he's not going to necessarily give up on his big dreams of having a steady job and a well-paying steady job at that. He just needs to study more. He's got to put in the work. He hasn't quite learned that what you put into something, the effort that you put into something, will equal what you get out of it. In some cases, what you get out of it will be greater than what you put into it if you put in a lot. But if you put in very little, you shouldn't expect anything but the minimum return on your time. So Billy knows he's got to strive a bit harder. He didn't study the night before. And, using named characters is something Prince has done recently. And I say recently, meaning like this 1986 period when he was writing songs, because these are the songs that are fresh in my mind since I've just recently done episodes on them. Songs like The Ballad of Dorothy Parker, Adonis and Bathsheba, and Blanche. So, yeah, this is something he's done throughout his entire career, and this is another example of that. So then we get the chorus again. That's why we're saying, make your mama happy. Make somebody proud. Never say die, never say why. Stand up and touch the clouds. And then in verse 2, he moves on to another character named Annie. Annie went to college, got a PhD, drive a BMW. All the things Annie ever wanted to be, she was when she finished school. So this is the other side of the coin, so to speak. Billy didn't put in the work, didn't put in the effort. He just got to work harder because what he wants to achieve can't be achieved in the manner in which he is, putting the work in, which is very minimal or little. Annie, on the other hand, in verse 2, she went to college. She earned her PhD. She's a doctor. Doctor of what? We don't know. It's not really relevant. But we know that she has the earning potential and has accomplished something very difficult to achieve. And now she's using that hard-earned money for her job to drive a nice car. She's driving a BMW. She has definitely made her mama proud. She got that degree, drives an expensive foreign car. She put in the work and is now a success. She's made her mama happy. And she's also made herself happy. All the things that she ever wanted to be, she was. When she graduated, she achieved what she set out to achieve. And by default, she made her mama happy. She made somebody proud. Never say die, never say why. Stand up, touch the clouds. And then we get the only other grouping of lyrics, and that's basically in a bridge setting or bridge style delivery. People of tomorrow want a better way. It gets harder and harder every day. Don't let 'em fool ya. Don't you let 'em say you're any less than they are. Baby, you're here to stay. Oh yeah, make your mama happy. I think Prince here is trying to warn us a little bit that it's harder now, and now was 40 years ago, to succeed than it was in decades past. So if he's saying in 1986 it's harder to be successful, maybe he meant it's harder to be successful than it was 40 years prior, which was the 1940s, World War II. I don't know how true that is, but I guess I'm sure some young adults today feel like young adults of the 80s had it way easier. Just like young adults of the 80s felt like the young adults of the 40s had it way easier, or the 50s had it way easier. It's just the way things go. I mean, there's been, the cost of living has skyrocketed, home prices have gone up, salaries really haven't kept up with inflation, and, I don't envy my children who will be entering the workforce in the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to be tough for them. So I don't know what the 2030s will bring for my children, but Prince definitely, is indicating that it's harder and harder every day to have that quality of life that he thinks is an option for anybody who puts in the work. And honestly, we're a minute and a half into a 4-minute song, and we're done with lyrics. It's basically, the song is seemingly like flipped or doubled, like a mirror. One side of the mirror is the music with lyrics, and the other side of the mirror is music no lyrics. So it's like part of that image has been erased for the second side or second song, for the second half of the song. But a minute and a half and we're done with lyrics. So pretty quick from a lyrical standpoint, despite there being 2.5 minutes left in the song that is just music from that point on. So this is going to be a fairly short episode. Let's get to the book. Let's read from the Parade and Sign of the Times book to see what Dwayne has to say about Make Your Mama Happy. And this is from an entry dated August 7th, 1986. So it begins by talking about some work that he was doing on Hot Thing, some horn overdubs, and then the book says, once that was finished, he began work on Make Your Mama Happy by laying down the usual drum bed and then at least one synth line on the Prophet and another on the Mirage, then guitar and bass, before adding his vocals. Many of his compositions are made to entertain, while this track was explaining the importance of going to school and learning how it can change the course of your life. It is a lesson about how hard work and focus can bring success, a philosophy that he practiced, but it was also a discourse about not allowing yourself to be distracted by anything or anyone. The spoken word part to this track included a callback to the song he recorded years earlier called Don't Let Him Fool Ya. And so he must be talking about, when he says don't let him fool you, don't you let him say you're any less than you are, baby, you're here to stay. So that part of the last section of lyrics, what I call in the bridge, is definitely speaking to putting your head down and really just focusing and not letting distractions and other people's doubts and insecurities get in the way of your ability to succeed. And that's really all they have to say about Make Your Mama Happy, because then they start talking about Forever in My Life, which was another song that was recorded on the very same day. So Hot Thing and Forever in My Life are two very well-known songs that Prince ended up putting on Sign of the Times the following year. Make Your Mama Happy, it is definitely, I think, one of the lesser known is definitely one of the lesser known and maybe least popular songs off of Crystal Ball. Maybe that's just me, but it feels like this is not a super popular track in his catalog. The very next day, on Friday, August 8th, is the day that the horn overdubs. And what the book has to say on this day: I wrote this song called Make Your Mama Happy that would probably really frighten you. Don't really understand that quote. There's absolutely nothing frightening about Make Your Mama Happy. But it just mentions that Eric Leeds added his horns to the song on Friday, August 8th. Alright, so that will do it for this episode of the Press Rewind Prince Lyrics podcast. I've been your host, Jason Brenninger. You can find the show at pressrewind.net. And until next time, thank you very much, and goodbye.